I checked the email during the break at the top of the hour, and there's some people wanting to know why I haven't spent a lot of time on the latest involving gun control. Toomey, Pennsylvania, Manchin, and so forth. It's not that I haven't, folks, and we've got some stuff on it coming up. There's really only one thing you need to know. The Democrats want to do away with the Second Amendment, and if they can, they want to end up registering every gun and its owner in this country. And their ultimate objective is to see to it that nobody has any. That's what's on tap. Now, no Democrat's going to admit that. Well, very few of them will. And it's not something that they expect to be able to accomplish tomorrow. But all of these gun control skirmishes have a long view, long-term policy objective on the left, and that is to get rid of everybody's guns, take guns away from people who have them. They don't like the Second Amendment. If they could, they'd write it out of the Constitution. Barring that, they'll come up with ways to override it. And if you don't want to admit that that's what this is all about, then you're really not up to speed on it. All these skirmishes are they're just that. They're skirmishes that are part of the larger Democrat Party objective to render the Second Amendment meaningless, to render it powerless. They say this in so many words. Anyway, greetings and welcome back. In fact, when they deny it, they give up the game. They oftentimes deny that charge without anybody leveling it. They often will say, we don't want to take your guns away from you. We always love hunting and so on. They give the game up and has, right then and there, one objective, and that is to separate you from your guns. The latest on this is the Vice President. Joe Biden this morning said that the cultural norm about gun ownership has changed. Vice President argued that many people buy guns not for protection or hunting, but because it's like driving a Ferrari. Vice President Biden said, it used to be that we were dealing almost exclusively with hunters. Well, there's a whole new sort of group of people now who, I don't know what the numbers are, that never hunt at all, but they own guns for one of two reasons, either self-protection or they just like the feel of that AR-15 at the range. They just like the way it feels. It's like driving a Ferrari. And then he raised his arms as if he was shooting a gun. So the Vice President of the United States, this was on MSNBC this morning, you people like guns? It's not even about hunting anymore. You just love the feel of that AR-15 in your hand. And maybe self-protection. Maybe self-defense. But the real reason you want guns is you just love the way it feels in your hand. You just love the power that gun in your hand gives you. Sort of like your hands being on the wheel of a Ferrari. You just love the power. And, of course, you don't need a Ferrari to get from point A to point B. And you don't need a gun, an AR-15, to hunt or to protect yourself. So once again, bitter clingers, impugned, insulted, demeaned in the ongoing effort to separate you from your gun. And make no mistake, that's what this is all about from the Democrat side. So when I see Republicans wanting to compromise with Democrats on this to get some kind of an agreement, I just scratch my head in futility. And I say, yep, well, it's just like we're compromising with them on the border, and we're compromising with them on amnesty, and we're soon going to be compromising with them on abortion and life. as that's what we have to do to get the press to say good things about us tomorrow. So there are, let's see, some liberals who they want to separate you from your guns. Admittedly correct. There are some liberals who want to separate you from your kids. We have learned in the past couple of days, right? And I don't know how many of you have done your taxes yet, but if you haven't, have I got a surprise for you. You're going to be hit in ways you haven't imagined. It's obvious that the American left wants to take away your money. Some of them want to take away your kids, and a whole bunch of them want to take away your guns. And that pretty much is the Democrat Party agenda that we find ourselves in the midst of. While all of that is going on, they want to grow the size of government. They want to raise your taxes. They want to spend even more money. And they want to pretend that they're cutting Medicare and Social Security when they really are not.